Hey there and welcome. This is Tammy with Country Girls Tumbler. Today we are going to be working on a three-way split tumbler. It's going to be a Halloween and fall theme. So what we need to do is we need to get the dimension of our tumbler. So we want to get the circumference divided in half because we're going to do half of this with a piece of vinyl. And then we need to get the length of it. Once we get the half of the dimension and or half of the circumference and the length, we're going to cut our vinyl out. And this is removable vinyl, and this is the Galaxy Sky removable vinyl from Hobby Lobby. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure that out and we're going to cut it to the size that we need it. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay it on our cup and see how well it fits. And then we're going to remove a portion of that vinyl and we're going to, for a starting point, and then we're just going to roll it on, try to get as many of those air pockets and everything out of it. And with the removable vinyl, it's easy to pull that up and work those creases and the air pockets and everything out of the vinyl. So we want to get that good and adhered on. And with that little pocket right there, it's easy to just work that out. The next thing we want to do, because we want to paint the bottom and a little rim around that vinyl, you want to tape it off real good so that you don't get any of your spray paint on that vinyl that you just laid down. So tape that off real good, and then you're just going to go around, and this is a 2-time gloss black spray paint that I got from Walmart. Once that dried, we divided the exposed half of the tumbler and we put Mod Podge on it. And this is Fix My Streets from Mr. Nola Glinner. And we're going to do kind of like a little ombre with this portion. So we're going to use Fix My Streets from Mr. Nola's Glitter on the top and the bottom. And the area in the middle is Sparkle Neon Orange, and I don't know exactly where that came from. I got it in a destashing from a friend. And you see me here with the glue again because I forgot to, I went too far up with the Sparkle Neon Orange, so I had to put a little bit more glitter or a little more glue on the top so that I could get that black on. And here I'm pressing down some of the areas where it bubbled up. Now that we've got all that on and good, we want to go in with just some white acrylic paint and put a base coat down on that lower half. And once that's dried, we're going back in with our Mod Podge. And we're going to put a decent coat of Mod Podge over that white paint. And this is Mother of Pearls from the Glitter Chimp. And if anybody is interested, I have a code for Glitter Chimp that'll save you 10% off on anything that you would like from the Glitter Chimp. I'll link that in below in the description. Now that all that glitter is dried on, I clear coated it twice with 2 times clear crystal clear coat, and then we are going in with this is a Literally Rose quick coat, so it dries very fast. And for this particular cup, it took me a while to do this cup because I only have like 20-30 minutes in the afternoons to work on cups. So I use a quick coat, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Once we got that clear coat on, I thought I was recording, but I put a moon on both sides. One side I used, it's a silver textured glitter vinyl, and I spray painted it with glow in the dark, and I used some alcohol ink to give the moon texture. And you see here on this particular area that I'm working on, I put a tree in front of the moon, and on the other side I put a witch on a broom over the moon. And this particular thing that I'm using here is a fall leaf by CCDIY, and it's kind of a holographic fall color leaf. And I'm using B6000 glue, and I'm just putting a little dot on the limbs and kind of just surrounding the area. Some of them were putting up underneath the tree, not on the ground, but not in the tree, so it looks like it's fallen. And then we're going to do some along the base of the tree. And these tweezers I'm using is some very, very fine point tweezers from Literally Rose. They are so awesome. Those are some of the best tweezers I've ever used. But here you can see we're just going around putting some of these little leaves around in the tree and around the area of the tree. Okay, that's a good picture. Once we get the leaves looking the way we want to, here's some Midnight Black alcohol ink. We're just going to dot that around the base of the tree. And then we'll put a few more leaves around the base of the tree on top of that alcohol ink, so that it looks like, you know, it fell on the ground, and you've got the alcohol ink covering up the base of the tree, because it's, you know, it kind of looked like it was kind of hovering off the ground, the way that the tree was sitting. So we're going to put a few more leaves around this area. This was the most tedious part of this whole cup. Was trying to get these leaves, and we did a few stars. Well, there was actually 2 really tedious parts of this cup: the leaves and the stars, and then we did some glow in the dark paint. So So you see here, I'm still trying to work on getting what I think is a good amount of leaves on here. So the leaves aren't overpowering, but they're not too far and few between. I didn't speed this up too much so that you can see, kind of see what I'm doing. Now, this is holographic stars from Mr. Nola's Glitter. And we're going to go around, and on this portion with the tree and the moon, we're going to put a few stars up in the area to kind of give it a little more. And then we'll flip it over to the other side where the witch and the moon is, and we'll put a few of the stars on that side as well. With the tree and the little haunted house looking area on the other side, that is just a vinyl cutout, and I actually used Oracle 651 vinyl to cut out the tree and the house on the other side. Now here you can see I did where I was putting some of the little stars at, and we're actually working our way over. We're going to work our way over to the half vinyl wrap side. And here you can see we're just going around and putting some of these stars in this half vinyl wrap area. We don't want to put too many, but you want enough to kind of see those stars are there. Now here we're going to go in with some more of that midnight black alcohol ink, and we're going to cover up underneath this house with that alcohol ink so that it looks like it's actually sitting on ground. And then what we're going to do is let that dry. And here we are putting some of that black alcohol ink up through the sky and everything for little darker areas. And then we're going to go in with CC DIY holographic jack-o'-lanterns. And we're going to put just a few of them down around the haunted house area. I think we put like 5 or 6 around, so you know it's not overdoing it, but you've got something to draw your attention to that house. We're going to put one on each side of the door area and a couple down the out by the graveyard that's on each side of the house. And like a couple that would look like being out in the middle of the yard going up to the house. Now once we've done that, we're going to go in with the Deco Art glow in the dark orange paint, and this is a dotting tool that is also from Little Land Rose. And we're going to go in with this dotting tool and fill in these door areas and these windows. And we also go over the crosses that is on this particular cutout. And this is just a cutout that I found from, like, I don't know if it was a Google search or if I got it from Creative Fabrica. There's quite a few places that a year or so ago I was just going through and I was like, oh, I like this, oh, I like this, oh, I like this. So I just started downloading a bunch of stuff. So here you can see using that dotting tool, filling in those windows, and this is actually the crosses on top of the steeples. And we're going to do 2 coats of this once it dries. So I did not record doing the second coat of this. And we are actually through the sky. I use this glow-in-the-dark paint also to give, and the dotting tool to give some glow-in-the-dark stars. So that worked out really nice. And you see me just going around, just randomly putting these glow-in-the-dark dots. We're going to do it to this side, and we're going to actually flip it over and do the same thing to where the tree is. We're going to put a few dots on that side as well. There's my little girl coming up and seeing what I was doing. She's always got to be next to her mama. Now, I didn't realize that I was not recording. You see that the white area on the base of the cup. So what that is that's just 4 circles. Actually, it was 5 circles. So I took a couple of circles and just made small circles for the eyes. And then I did those in a holographic blue vinyl, permanent vinyl. And then I decreased the size of those circles for the eyes to about half the size, and I did 2 cheeks. And to give the mouth, I actually took 2 big circles, and once I got the second circle, overlaid the first circle to what I thought was a good size and good shape of mouth. I highlighted both of them using Cricut Design Space. I highlighted both of them and sliced I sliced the second circle out of the first circle, so I got this half moon shape for the mouth. And for the cheeks and the mouth, I used a pink holographic thread vinyl. And what we did is this we were putting just a clear coat of epoxy on it. And here again, I did not get that recorded, so we just put one good coat of epoxy, kind of like a final coat. So we laid that down, torched it, got all the bubbles popped out of it, and this is a neon orange holographic striping tape. And we're just going to go in between both sides of this vinyl that we laid down in the very beginning, and split that from the star and the or from the tree and this white area. This white area is kind of like a marshmallow. You will see us putting a drip on top of this white area here in a little bit. So I just wanted to use this neon orange striping tape to kind of separate these areas. So around the marshmallow at the bottom, I put the striping tape at the bottom and the top of this area, and just down the length of the vinyl area. Once we do that and get that striping tape, we're going to go back to our turner and we're going to do another coat of epoxy. This is I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. So this is me trimming up that striping tape. Here's where we're taping off an area so that we can respray paint the bottom of this tumbler. The reason why we're taping this off is so that we do not get any of that black paint on this area that we just worked on. So that helps prevent that. So here we are, we go out, we spray paint that, we let it dry, and this is what I'm using here is a 1-to-1 ratio of a quick coat of the amazing epoxy. So if you use 15 milliliters of part A, you want to use 15 milliliters of part B. So we're going to mix that up, stir it for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to lay it out on our tumbler here. Once we get the tumbler coated with this epoxy, you want to take the torch and you want to go over that epoxy real quick with the torch. That way you're popping any bubbles that you may still have in your epoxy from you stirring it. But that'll also help for that epoxy to move around on your cup and get a good thick coat. Now because this is a quick coat, I'll let this turn for about 6 hours and let it cure. And I've been lucky with this amazing quick coat because I haven't had to do very many layers of the epoxy because it's not real thin, so it goes on really well. Once you get that epoxy on and you've used your torch, you want to turn your epoxy off and or your turner off and let it turn the opposite direction. Now here we're going to start our drip, and what we're using is the Little Lee and Rose Quick Set. It also is a 1-to-1 ratio. I mixed 2.5 milliliters of part A and 2.5 milliliters of part B. And we are using cocoa alcohol ink. And I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce the name of that glitter, but it's also from Little Lee and Rose. And this with this epoxy, you don't have to stir it very well, or very long, should I say. I only stirred it for like maybe a minute, and before I could get it all the way on, it was already too set, so I wasn't able to use it. So we actually go in and do 3 separate cups of the quick set, the glitter, and the cocoa colored alcohol ink, so that we could just get this one little 4.5-inch section of what looks like chocolate. Once you get your drip on and the way you like it, you need to go in with a thin coat of epoxy and make sure you get around that drip really, really well. You want to cover that entire drip with your epoxy and get up in between each one of those drip areas. Here we are, we've mixed up. It was amazing quick coat that I picked up from Walmart. 4.5 hours, 4 to 6 hours, and it's completely cured to the touch. And once that's done and it's all smooth, this is our final result. I hope you like this. If you do, give me a thumbs up. I hope you've learned something. The quick set from Little Lee and Rose, man, like I said, you stir it for a minute and it's done. You have about 5-minute work time. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I hope to have another tutorial for you here soon. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.